I would like to, first of all, thank everyone for coming. I have some prepared remarks to make. Officer Melendez's employment with the City of Inkster Police Department was terminated April the 15th, which we will believe was in the best interest of our community. We acknowledge Prosecutor Worthy's charging decision and will cooperate with the prosecutor as requested. Like Prosecutor Worthy, neither I as mayor nor the Inkster City Council was aware of the incident until hearing about it on news reports on March the 23rd, 2015. After observing the video of Mr. Dent and learning he was assaulted by Officer Melendez almost 2 months earlier on January 28th, I and the City Council urged the City Manager to swiftly conclude the administrative investigation. By city charter, Inkster City Council and I have no authority to discipline or authorize any employment action against the police department or Officer Melendez, but we endeavor to take action to ensure that the circumstances which comprise of the Dent-Melendez incident are never repeated. As a result, on April the 6th, I recommended to the City Council, and Council passed a resolution to investigate the circumstances surrounding the assault of Mr. Floyd Dent and the subsequent response of the City Administration. Now that Prosecutor Worthy has concluded her investigation, the Inkster City Council has ordered the City Manager and the City Attorney to provide a detailed account of their involvement and response to the Dent-Melendez incident. The City Manager and the Attorney have 5 days from today to respond in writing. Accordingly, it will be due on April the 27th, 2015. In order to preserve the integrity of both the criminal and the potential civil action surrounding Officer Melendez, I will have no further comment after this statement. I will now turn over to the City Manager, Richard Marsh.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Before I have my brief remarks, I want to introduce who we have here. This is a joint press conference which includes Bishop Stargell, who's the president of the Western Wayne NAACP. We have Pastor Stevens, who's the president of the Ministerial Alliance. We also have standing here Reverend Truss, who's a part of the Citizens Advisory Panel for the Inkster IPD, here represented in addition to our other distinguished reverends here in the community. What I find is important here in Inkster, which I believe is a model for those other cities around the country that have dealt with similar circumstances, is that we already have a foundation of good relationship with our Ministerial Alliance, NAACP, Citizens Advisory Council, and our citizens. I'd like to start off by saying, in my comments, is that I terminated Officer Melendez's employment with the city on April the 15th. These are questions that are out there that need to be answered. I want to say that that's what happened. In order to preserve the integrity of both the criminal and the potential civil actions surrounding Melendez's employment, both of which are now active and ongoing, I will have no detailed further comments regarding Prosecutor Worthy's decision that she made the other day. This conversation I wanted to have briefly, and I'm going to turn it over to Bishop Stargell, is to compliment the citizens of Inkster. Citizens were not happy with what happened, but they demonstrated patience, and cool heads have prevailed in the city of Inkster. Inkster citizens are a step above the fray. They have allowed the process to take its course and handled a very difficult situation responsibly. And of course, we didn't expect anything different from the citizens of Inkster. I'd also like to say that the demonstrations were nonviolent. Civil protests was a model of how it should be done around this country. Our citizens showed self-restraint in spite of being unhappy with the circumstances they were faced with. I'd like to say that it is not over. There's still some other things that I believe we need to do, in addition to what the mayor has said as well, regarding who knew when and what took place. There's questions that came to me regarding the video of Dent on the street. And what about the other officers in that video? The answer to you is they will be under investigation as well, and I need a report back from the IPD regarding their involvement. There's another question that came to me regarding the booking review and Mr. Dent in the jail. I requested an investigation of those officers involved in both of those scenes, and I will get a response. And in both of these instances, where deemed appropriate, immediate disciplinary action will take place. When we had our first press conference, what we did tell you, we didn't know where the dots were going to lead, but we were going to do the right thing. And to this point we have, and we will continue to do so. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Bishop Stargell, the president of the NAACP.
I would like, first of all, just to thank the citizens of Inkster, everyone that played a part in bringing this situation to a head. We all worked together. We all were concerned. We all were shocked because we are residents of a great city. We are a people that love each other. It is a village, and everybody grew up with each other, talked with each other, played basketball with each other. But when this problem came up, we all stood together. We have different organizations that came out to protest and to rally. We want to thank our president of NAN that's here in the room, I believe, right now, for coming out to be a part of the spearheading the protest. And it was peaceful. But we still have got to have more answers. We were at the table when it first broke on Channel 4. We were there with the city manager, the mayor, and also the police chief. And the key was that we were working together to find solutions, and the biggest problem that we had was the communication that was for our citizens, to let them know that we were looking, that we were investigating, and we were doing the right thing. So I thank the state police for finalizing the actual investigation, and it was turned over to our prosecutor, Kim Worthy. We still will be at the table in further conferences with the mayor, the police chief, and the city manager to make sure that this process is documented, but also putting together some systematic plans. So therefore, if this ever came up again, or any situation dealing with one of our actual citizens, that the proper procedures, protocols will be followed, and therefore the transparency for our citizens will be such to a point where we all will feel safe, confident in our government. So I thank you for being patient, and I thank each one of you for being out here today. Thank you.
I'm Joseph Stevens, president of the Inkster Ministerial Alliance, and I want to first of all say that I have never been more proud of my community than I have been during this recent incident. I was born and raised in Inkster, and the citizens of Inkster showed restraint as we were at the table trying to figure out what was going on and determining the actions that needed to be taken by our administration, who I want to commend. They did an excellent job. Once we were notified of what had happened, we found out when everyone else did. Certainly want to thank the citizens of Inkster for keeping a level head even during the demonstrations. Want to thank our state police, and want to assure the citizens of this great community that even in the midst of this incident, that don't think bad about our police department, we do still have some fine police in our department. I'm glad to see the process worked. I'm glad to see that justice is being served. There's still a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of meeting and conferences to go through to make sure that our community is safe and that there is an active dialogue between our police and our citizens, and that our citizens can trust the police that they've hired to serve and to protect them. Again, thank you to the citizens of this great city. Thank you to the state police and our administration.
Thank you, Pastor Stevens. At this time, again, I'd like to state that because of the criminal investigation, which is concluded, but there are charges, and because of the potential of civil litigation, I need to be very careful about what I say, and I'm very limited on what I can say regarding the Melendez case. I want to just set the tone and let you know that right up front. Under advisement of counsel, I cannot get into details regarding either one of those cases, but I would like to open it up for questions that you might have regarding anything else. Thank you. Yes, sir. Your hand was up first.
Is this a one-time circumstance in this department, or do you think there's more bad apples?
Well, sir, I'd like to start off by saying that, and I want to make it clear, that being a police officer is an honor, and it's an honorable position, and we're fortunate to have many outstanding officers in the police department. But just like in any family, you do have family members that excel, exceed, and are doing what they need to do. But then you have families that need some correction, some discipline, some guidance, and sometimes stern correction. I believe that there is work in any department, and there's no department that's perfect. And by no means am I going to tell you that our department is perfect. We do have work to do. But overall, we have some outstanding men and women that are representing the city of Inkster in the police department. You're welcome, sir.
This incident happened on January 28th.
Yes, sir.
And you still don't know who knew what, when?
That will be an investigation, sir, regarding who knew when, what, when, and what happened during the process. That's my charge to get further details and explanation regarding that.
Why is that taking so long? It's been months.
That's going to be under review as well. An answer to your question, and which is a good one. Yes, ma'am. Robin.
Do why it took so long for the prosecutor's office to get the video? From what we understand during the press conference yesterday, they said that they didn't even find out about what had happened until the media got hold of it. I'm not sure why.
Yes, I understand. I understand exactly your question. She mentioned March 23rd and when she got the video. That also is going to be investigation. I understand from Chief Yost that there may be a comment coming forth from Prosecutor Worthy regarding the correction on that, is what you told me. But that is going to be on investigation as well in this process. We will get answers to that.
And just to be clear, the prosecutor's office, on January 30th, the IPD submitted a warrant request, and in that warrant request, we indicated that patrol car video was available. Additionally, when the prosecutor requested that video, it was made available to her office that same day, and it was made available prior to the airing of the story. And if you look at the judicial record, you'll see that it was actually discussed in the preliminary exam. So for the record, for transparency's point, I don't want anybody to get confused. There was no intent to hide. There was no intent to conceal.
Yes, sir.
This question is intended for Lieutenant Shaw of MSP. Charges against Dent as it relates to his cocaine charge or having crack cocaine in his car have been
investigation into Mr. Dent is not mine. It is not an MSP investigation. That is IPD. So I don't really have any comment on that because I don't know the inner workings of that. I did speak with the prosecutor and learned that she was going to dismiss the charges against him in the interest of justice is what the prosecutor stated. So I'm not sure exactly what's in her mind as far as what that means.
Chief Enos, do you have any comment on that?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any comment? Prosecutor Worthy advising that she dropped the charges, the drug charges against Dent.
That's clearly within her purview.
Okay, well, with that,
Chief Jones,
do you have
could
some?
discuss morale in the ranks and what this has done or what you've done to perhaps, if you've had to do anything to bolster the ranks?
I'll say this, I think the city manager did a really fine job of pointing out that we have a lot of honorable men and women who work for this department. And they are out there providing the police service that they provided before, and they'll continue to do so because they're professionals. I have the utmost confidence in them, and I want to reiterate what the panel has said in terms of confidence in the community. In the first press conference, I said I was 100% confident in the community of Inkster. That confidence was well placed.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming out. We appreciate you. Have a great day. Bless you. Thank you, Pastor.